letting all the cold air in. You're trying to make us freeze. Good morning!
Hello, everybody.
I'm Amy, and this is A-Star Reads, and it's time for a road trip. Woohoo! With the Cece and a mama. And we're so excited. Are you excited?
Yes. I mean, we haven't been out and about for, what, 2 years almost?
Yeah, we're hermits.
No, COVID is.
Yeah. It's COVID. So we're on our way down to Southern California. We have family that lives, well, they live up here half the year, and then half the year they have a place in the desert because, you know, they don't like to be in the cold. And Cece,
what are those people called that follow?
They're called snowbirds.
They're snowbirds.
Yeah. We're going to be going to Salton Sea area. It's southeast of Palm Springs and then like south of Joshua Tree Park. So Mom's actually never been to the ranch. We call it the ranch. It's not a huge ranch, but it's like their little place out in the desert, and they always bring their goats there because they are goat people. And so
you have to bring your goats on vacation.
You bring your goats. Mom's never been to the ranch, so we said, "Oh, we're gonna go to the ranch." And then that was 2 years ago, and we finally were like, "We gotta make good on our promise." And so we're gonna go to the ranch. We're gonna explore,
play with the goats.
Yes. And so I have a theme for this trip because I'm silly like that. What's the theme?
Road tripping. We're going to read a lot of books about road trips.
Yeah.
A lot. I asked her, how many do you have?
I've got at least 10 physical ones, but physical also means ebooks, and 5 audiobooks. Yeah, so we're going to be listening to audiobooks while we're in the car. We're actually going to take 3 days down and 3 days back because we're taking our time.
We're road tripping. You can't drive fast.
Yeah, so we'll be down there for 4 full days, but we're planning on just taking it slow and only driving 8 hours each day. And so that way we'll have plenty of time on the road to listen to audiobooks about road trips. So this isn't just books about cars on road trips. It's also like journey books. You know, you're going along a path to get to some destination.
Sounds good.
So we have some books that are not as obviously road trip books. You know what I mean? And it's a theme that I've always been interested in reading because I love road trips so much. Road trips are very important to our family. And maybe we'll tell you some road trip stories along the way.
Yeah, I'm thinking of some stories. I'm like, oh, I got some stories. We do have some.
We do. I'm going to attempt to daily vlog this. So hopefully every night before I go to bed, I get a chance to edit these videos and put them up and have something
with us.
Yeah, along the way.
Yay, that'd be great.
Oh, the book we're starting out with in the car, audiobook. We're starting out with The Road Trip by Beth O'Leary.
Oh, good.
It's a romance. I figured let's start with something easy and fun. I've read The Switch by Beth O'Leary, and she's really well known for The Flat Share. I've heard about this one that she wrote, but I don't know if it's one of her really
It's called The Road Trip?
Yeah, it's called The Road
pretty
Trip.
obvious.
So, yeah, exactly. A little on the nose, isn't it?
Well, it's a romance, so I'm excited.
Yeah, and I figured that was a good way to start out. And it's a 10-hour audiobook, so it'll actually take us into tomorrow.
Well, it's a good thing you got 5 audiobooks.
Yeah, we can always pull more if we need to. I don't think we'll need to. Okay, we're going off to breakfast. There's this amazing restaurant called the Birch Door Cafe here in Bellingham, but usually it gets crowded really quickly. But I'm thinking if we're going this early in the morning, it won't be so bad. I think it's like 7:30 now, so let's go see if it's full, and if it's not, we're gonna eat some, well, we're gonna go anyways, but we're gonna eat some breakfast, and then we're gonna head out on the road.
On the road again.
I can't wait to get on the road again. For breakfast. This is the Aurelium notebook. We have put this together so that we can organize all our stuff for Aurelium. So I printed everything out on this fun paper. And today we're going to work on filling out our character cards because we've never done that yet. So I have even like the path and everything in here.
Ahead of us, the road winds its way up the hillside of dark woodland. Hands meeting together. The rough stone of the cliff is dotted with houses in the sea.
Okay, so we are at a stop. You're not helping, Cece. One of the things I want to do on this trip, which you're not going to get to see till later. Stop it, Cece. Stop it. She keeps bumping my arm. I'm going to be doing a road trip book crawl, but you won't see this video until in the future. So we're stopping at one of our stops. In the meantime, let's talk about the book so far. What do you think?
So I've known about myself that's really hard for audiobooks because I'm more of a visual person. So I feel slightly confused. I mean, I like listening to, this one has both a female speaking for female voice, a male speaking for male voices. And so I like that. Mm-hmm. And I like the story. I don't want to, I don't want to put it down, but I told Amy that I get confused, and I know with a book, if I get confused, I can just flip back and start reading again. So that's the only problem with audio, is that sometimes I feel like I don't hear as well as I can read it,
Yeah, you're not as much into the audio element of it.
But the book's good. I like what the author, she keeps your interest. It's like pretty exciting.
Yeah. So far, so in the beginning, there's this Mini Cooper with like 3 people in it, and then there is a Mercedes with 2 people, and they're not following the Mini Cooper, but they end up behind this Mini Cooper. And the guy that's driving the Mercedes recognizes the person driving the Mini Cooper, and it's his ex, who he's not over. They lock eye contact, and something happens and they get into a car accident. So then they're all actually going to the same place. They're going to a wedding of a friend that is common for them. And so because the Mercedes kind of gets totaled, not totaled, but they can't drive it, they all end up piling into this Mini Cooper. The main guy's name is Dylan, who is the ex-love of Addie, the girl in the other car. There's Dylan and his best friend Marcus, who are starting to find they have had somewhat in a healthy relationship in the past, like their friendship was a little too like codependent. And then in the other car, we have Addie, her sister
Deb.
Yes, her sister Deb, and a guy named Rodney, who they're giving a ride. They don't know him that well, but he's a funny little comic relief because he's so weird and awkward.
The Mini's a really little car, and the Mercedes a big old tanker. How did the Mercedes get wrecked?
Well, the Mercedes rear-ended. I don't know. Maybe the front of the car wasn't. I don't know. Don't ask me. I wasn't there.
They had the Mercedes towed off, and there are now 5 people sitting in a Mini.
Yeah, a little Mini Cooper.
There's no way.
So it's very tight. I've read one of Beth O'Leary's other books, and this feels like her same style, where she's very quick and she has a lot of wit, but this feels younger. So whereas The Switch felt like it had older characters, and it felt like it read not like it was old and outdated, but it read like you were reading from these older characters. Whereas this one feels like you are reading about 20-year-olds, which they are 20-year-olds.
Oh, okay. And I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I like how Beth O'Leary has been able to switch the tone of her books really well to actually match the age of the people, which I thought was clever, because this is my second book reading by her. And I don't think all authors can do that very well, or not, the tone doesn't always change, but the humor, the quick wit is one thing that I really like about Beth O'Leary's writing style. And so we have been laughing our heads off. It's been fun.
Yeah.
Like we've just been sitting for a long time, and then just laughing every once in a while at just the silly things that they say and do. So I'm having a lot of fun with it.
It's good. Yeah. I had to put it out there that sometimes audios are hard for me.
Yeah. No, and that's fair. And that'll be an interesting car trip, because you're going to get a lot of experience listening to audiobooks.
Maybe I'll get really good at it.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go do our little book shopping, and if we get anything that's not part of that book crawl, I might show you, but otherwise, we'll see you later. Okay, so Mom's out taking Cece for a bit of a walk, and we had a good time at that bookstore. I ended up picking a book that I'm really excited about. This may not seem exciting to everybody else, but this is The Sea of Cortez by John Steinbeck, a leisurely journal of travel and research. So this is the period when Steinbeck was actually working with Ed Ricketts, who is a scientist that is very well known in the Monterey area. And he collected samples. I think, if I remember correctly, they used to collect samples together of many different types of organisms that were used within scientific research. This was back, in the 20s or 30s or something like that. When they would go on these collecting adventures, I think at one point they went on like a boat journey. So this is sort of like Steinbeck's version. You know, he was not a scientist, but he went to help Doc Ricketts and he got experience looking at all these different organisms. So this is partially a tale of their journey, but then there is a section in here that does have like classifications and stuff like that. I don't really know too much what to expect of this, except that I've known this book exists and I've never seen it in a bookshop before. So I'm really excited to pick it up and give it a try. And I think I got it for like $12.50, which, you know, not bad, you know, used book. Yeah, I'm a fan of Steinbeck, if you haven't heard from my other videos. And so this is one that I was really excited to see, because it's not, you know, you see all the common ones, Of Mice and Men, Grapes of Wrath, East of Eden. All those ones are the ones you typically see in bookshops, Cannery Row, although that one's a little harder to get a hold of. You don't usually see some of his other lesser known works. All right, so what books did you get?
So I've been buying the series, I don't know, it's by Lemony.
The Series of Unfortunate Events by Lemony Snicket.
That's it. And I'd picked up already 6 books from the local bookshops in Bellingham. And we just hit this bookshop that we just went to, and I got all the rest of them. There's book 1 up through book 13. I think that's the end of it. I'll have to look it up, but I'm really excited. They're middle grade, and I started watching the show on TV. For some reason, it just came on, and I started watching it, and it was just so, I felt so sorry for those kids. And then we were at a bookshop one day, and I saw the books. I'm going, oh, I gotta get them. So I've got the set 1 through 13. Good. I'm so excited. Good. Now I'm done shopping.
For today. So we are heading straight to Roseburg, Oregon now. We may stop once or twice here along the way, but realistically I have reading sprints this evening at 5, and we're gonna get there after 5, so I'm gonna be late to reading sprints, but we're gonna try and make it. And then I can always pop in the reading sprints a little late. No problem there. We'll get to our motel, check in, and then I'll try and jump on those reading sprints. So we'll talk to you in a little bit. We're gonna continue on listening to the road trip as we continue on our road trip. Okay, so we finally made it. Had a bit of an issue with my hotel reservations, and it's too embarrassing. I don't want to talk about it. But it was very stressful for a while. And then we hit an accident that took us like 2 hours out of our planned time of arrival here. And so that was kind of, you know, tedious, as it is whenever you go through that much traffic. But everything is okay. We've made it. I feel a little relaxed that we made it. I didn't get to the reading sprints with Paige and Danielle live on the reading sprints, but I got to watch them while we were driving and respond in the comment section. And so, I mean, at least I got to do a little bit, because I was a little bummed that things just didn't work out. But they did amazing, as you can imagine, and Danielle made progress on Discovery of Witches, and so did Antonisha. So, like, it was great to see good friends, get to read with them. We listened to our audiobook while we were doing the sprints with them. So, like, every time we'd go for sprints, we would just listen to a little more of the road trip. And that's where we're at. Feelings, thoughts on road trips so far. Not the actual road trip, the book.
Oh, the book. Okay, because I was wondering what.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. We're almost 50%. Have we made it 50%?
I think we're about 50% way through.
And so we're really actually enjoying it. Well, I'm enjoying it. There's a lot of action, a lot of detail. I feel like we're finding out about the people that are in here. I'm hoping for the romance. That's what I'm looking for. What kind of trope is that where they were in a relationship and they broke up and now they're...
Second chance romance.
Second chance romance is what this seems like. And I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, and so it's a dual timeline. So part of it is while they're on this road trip after the fact that their relationship has ended. And then the other part is going to the beginning of their relationship and seeing the progress of the relationship from the very beginning all the way through, to, I guess probably to the point we are at. So they keep jumping back and forth. They have like a then section, which is the past, and the now section, which is the current time.
There's a bunch of bumps in the road. It turns out that the guy's best friend seems like a manipulator. So I hope that's not a spoiler, but he just seems like a problem.
Yeah, Mom's not liking Marcus, the best friend, at all. And I think that I can see the problems with Marcus, but I'm wondering if there's more to that story. And I think we're starting to learn a little bit more about him. I'm not sure where we're going to like him, but I think there's more to that story than...
Yeah, because they say he's changed going forward, but
she's not
his
saying.
behavior seems the same as in the back then and now. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Maybe I'll have an open mind, but right now I'm
not.
just waiting for this second chance to happen.
There's a nice amount of tension. It's clean romance. Like there's a little bit of flirting and a little bit of detail, but not a lot. It
We
kind of
don't
gets
have
you
to
started.
listen to smut together.
Yeah, because we were like, that would be awkward. So I tried to pick a romance that would not be creepy while we're sitting in the car together listening to it. So I'm going to call this for the night, and I'm hoping to have time to edit this because we ended up here a lot later than we were planning on it. It's okay. You know, I think it was more just stressful because of the hotel situation, and now that's figured out. And then, of course, we were hoping to get back in time so that I could do the sprints, and that didn't happen either. So it just kind of felt like today we had plans and it didn't work out, and that's okay.
Tomorrow should be a lot less stress for you, honey, because we're staying at her best friend's house.
We're staying at Shell's house.
And there's no expectation. Shell won't even be there.
Yeah,
so we can
she's
relax.
gonna be out and about.
Amy can work on her blog, so it'll be fun.
Yeah, so tomorrow night is Shell's house. I think the third night we'll be staying at the ranch. So this is already moving along pretty quickly. So we'll catch up with you tomorrow. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you can see what happens on day 2. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you later. Bye.